Hello everyone, we're gonna try this again. True Gemini theme, having to do things twice, okay? So this is the second time I'm recording this. So tomorrow we are having a new moon in Gemini. New moon in Gemini. And so for many of us, this is like super impactful, especially if you have your Jupiter in your Gemini, right? Either in your Gemini or if you have Jupiter in your third house, okay? So what I'm playing with this month is when we are setting intentions for the new moon, we're looking at what house that our Gemini is in. So you can do this by looking at your natal chart. Go to, I think it's astroseek.com, and just wherever it is that you can download your natal chart. It'll have the house system around the chart, and you'll see where your Gemini is, right? Also, where is your Mercury? Because Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini. So for those that say, well, I don't have anything in my third house, or there's nothing going on in Gemini, honestly, we all have all of the charts, right? Whether it's human design, whether it's astrology, it's the way, whether you have a personal planet there or whether it is an influence of a friend, of a planetary alignment that is going to affect you in that zone. So for instance, my Gemini is in my 6th house of habits, of health. And so I'm calling this the biohack, the biohack for capacity. And Jupiter, if you have your, if Jupiter's coming into Gemini, which it is, you may be experiencing your Jupiter return. I don't want to get too much into this, but if this is you, if you are celebrating a Jupiter return this year or next year, because Jupiter will be in Gemini for an entire year. If this is you, reach out, let's have a chat. I love talking about this. This is my new thing right now. But let's get back to the new moon in Gemini. The new moon in Gemini is happening tomorrow. And this is a great time to set intentions. It's in the gate 35 in human design. And this is the gate of, it's all about the journey, not the destination. It's talking about your experiences and really using your experiences as a platform, as a way to create transformation, to teach other people. So, when we're looking at this energy, I also want to be mindful that the next day, the sun goes into gate 45 of distribution of the Queen and the King. And so how can we meld this together? And so when I was reading Karen Curry Parker's Evolution Guide, which I buy every single year, if you don't buy it, get on it. It is so good. It was talking about taking stock of your experiences, taking stock of all your wisdom, all your skills, all the Gemini traits, taking stock of it all, and really valuing it as a source of wisdom. And so when I was kind of thinking about this, I was like, especially if you're going through a new 12-year cycle, what is it that you have learned in that last 12 years? What is it that you've learned even in just this cycle and in your life? And how can you use this as your platform, creating a legacy in your business or a jump off into what it is that you want to create, the intention that you want to set? Excuse me. So I kind of popped into a few astrology and human design groups yesterday, and I had like over 50 comments and like hundreds and hundreds of people responding to this post. And so I thought, okay, I better come in and do a live on this in case you were one of those people. So let's talk new moon in Gemini. And once again, go grab your natal chart. You can get it at AstroSeek. There's lots of places you can download your natal chart now. And we're going to go through the house system. We're going to go through the different houses that may be impacting you. So if your Gemini is in your first house, you're setting an intention on you because you are the star of the show in this, right? This is all about you and who it is that you are, how it is that other people see you. So you're the star, you are the transformation. Get curious, get playful. What is it that you want to experience? What is it that you want to experience more of? What is it that you want to bring into manifestation through this new moon, setting an intention and staying consistent with that intention? If you have Gemini in your second house, this is all about, it's all about the money, honey, but it's all about your value, your sense of self-value, your sense of self-worth. And of course, this is also connected to money. So this may be a great time for you to really get dialed into what makes you, like, how do you value yourself? How do you define your sense of self-worth? And how can you make bank on that? Third house is all about communication. Gemini is like the junk drawer of astrology. It's just got everything in it, right? It has your communication, your mindset, your mind chatter, the duality, the polarity. It has short-term traveling, publication. Like, there's a lot going on in Gemini. This can burn your ass out real fast if you are always in your head. So if this is in your third house, this is really all about getting curious about your communication, but also gaining clarity on the way that you like to communicate. I do have a podcast episode, I believe it's called Messaging Mercury, or Marketing in Mercury, or Messaging in Mercury, something like that. I'll leave the link below. And it talks about the different profile lines in your Mercury placement. So if you're going through a transformation in your third house, you may want to check that out. Now, if this is in your fourth house, this is your house and home. This is, your inner shell. How do you nurture yourself in your house and home? And so if you have Gemini in your house and home, maybe you like to travel a little bit, right? Like, maybe you're a camper and you're like thinking about camping season already. But this could be getting curious about, your house and home. And if you're going to perhaps take a break this summer and go camping, go stay in your trailer or something like that. That could be fun. Fifth house is all about creativity and your hobbies. What is it that, you really enjoy doing? What is it that lights you up? What lights you up from the inside that you love to express, that you love to share? How can you be more creative? It's also the sign of babies, right? So you might be having a baby or getting pregnant at this time. If that is something that you are wanting, it also could be unexpected. So just be mindful of that, especially when Jupiter is moving into that. Sixth house is all about health and habits. Now, this is where it's affecting me and my entire family as well. We all have the same house system. We're all Capricorn risings. So if you're Cap rising, this is in your sixth house. This is health, your habits. This is really getting intentional, like with your fitness routines, your nutrition. I'm calling this biohacking, right? This is really where I feel that for the next 12 years, I'm going to see a huge biohack in my life, because I want to create more capacity. I want to have the energy to serve. I want to have the capacity to create. And I want to do this through getting really intentional, especially since I'm 46 years old. And I do have a background in health and fitness. So getting really intentional with my fitness, with my health, and so that I can create that capacity, that health for long-term success. Seventh house is all about your relationships, right? So we're going to see if you have your Gemini in your seventh house, there may be a duality in your relationships. There may be, your relationships might be a little eccentric in the way that you have lots of different types. This may be really being close to your cousins, your family, your friends, but really connecting to how is it that, being really curious about your relationships and how this may play out in your relationship. So if you're setting intentions, maybe setting intentions with your partnerships, right? Like whether this is intimate relationships, whether this is business partnerships, whether this collaborations, really being intentional in your relationship zones. If this is in your eighth house of, transformation, these are Scorpio themes. This is hot sex. So being really curious, being really creative in that venue. Oh my gosh, kissing cousins came out. No, right? But, really being curious as what kind of transformation, what kind of deep transformation can I create through this new moon? And what I'm getting is like, what is the story that I can tell about the transformation that I've already created in my life? Or how can I tell the story about the transformation that I'm going to be creating in my life? Or maybe I'm creating a container, if you're a soulpreneur, if you're a coach, creating a container for transformation, right? So that could be an aspect that you're moving into. Ninth house is all about adventure. So if you think about it, this is on the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Jupiter is the planet ruler of Sagittarius, right? So it's considered to be in its detriment when it's in Gemini. So when I was channeling this in, bringing this in, they showed me the picture of Jupiter being this, oh my gosh, this big gassy planet, right? It's a big gassy planet. And sometimes a Jupiter blessing can be in the source of, when you have those farts and you're like, I hope that was just a fart, right? Like you don't know what the blessing is going to be. You don't know what the added, surprise is going to be sometimes. And so when I was thinking about that, I was like, Jupiter in Gemini can be a little bit about that, right? It can be like, it's in its detriment. There is a sense of overcoming. There is a sense of it not being in its natural territory. And so the Jupiter blessing in Gemini is going to be through the lesson, right? Really moving through that lesson. Jupiter's about law, right? Learning your individual, your unique law of life, your philosophy of life, that higher learning that you're going to go through in order to know what is unique to you. And so it'll be really interesting seeing what adventures you're going to move through if your Gemini is in your ninth house, because it's all about adventure. And so I'm really excited. If that's you, let me know. Always message me. My message is always open. I'm always excited to hear how everybody's moving through these transits. 10th house, you're going to see, you may see a career boost, right? You may see yourself coming out of the closet, communicating more, being more open, sharing from experience, or you may want to look at your past communications and re-showcase those, right? So old podcasts, for instance, is a great way to bring back some of your old content and repurpose it in communication. But really, this is all about, what did I say? Are we in the 10th house? Oh my gosh, did that just happen? 10th house, career boost. 11th house. If your Gemini is in your 11th house, this is all about community and groups. And this is really exciting too, because you may be speaking to more communities and groups. Like for instance, I think this is on Facebook, but I'm seeing people on here that are not in my Facebook group. So I'm guessing that this is actually in my Facebook profile. Totally fine. So this can be opening up to your communities. This could be opening up to your groups. This could be opening up to the internet. This could be opening up to society. Gemini in the 11th house is really about communicating to larger groups. And then when we look at it in the 12th house, this is coming into your inner world, right? This is watery. This is perhaps meditation, right? Or, having nice baths and whatnot. But in this new moon, setting it up in the 12th house, this is and I'm getting like the collective consciousness, the sea of consciousness, and perhaps blowing it up in that venue, however that works for you. So for instance, if you're setting a new moon, a new intention, speaking to the universe, right? And allowing the universe, this can show up as automatic writing, right? Asking the universe for your next step, and then just trusting your human design strategy if this is right for you or not. So I want to invite you this month. I've had, Jupiter surge of initiatrixes in my 21-day initiation into abundance challenge. It's 21 day of guidance, step by step, of how to stay in your own frequency. So what you do is every single morning you get into your frequency, you get into your zone, and you feel into what that frequency feels for you, because it's different for everyone. Of course, it's setting up into gratitude, but what does it feel like for you to be in that frequency of abundance, of open-heartedness, of open-mindedness, of setting your day in that intention for an entire month? And so this is a 21-day journey where you are going to learn how to set a proper intention, right? A proper intention, how to stay in alignment with that proper intention. And there is lots and lots of different journaling exercises. There's lots of different way of working through your blocks and your subconscious. I'm really excited about this. There is also a private Facebook group that I do coaching through. So asking your questions there, I answer them all the time. I'll be going live in that group. It's a private group just for initiatrixes. And I think it's like $111. Like, it's nothing. 21 days of coaching for $100. That is a steal. That is a bargain. That is a no-brainer, hell yes. And so I want to invite you, if you're interested, I will leave a link below that you can join us. There's modules, so if you want to do it on your own time, anytime that you want, there is a module in my platform that you can follow. There's also a comment section that is rich, full of other people that have gone through the entire journey. There is breathwork sessions. There is so much in this 21 days, and it truly is a guided journey for you. If you do want that next level support, that's the Facebook group. That's where I'll answer your questions. That's where I'll be going live more in there. So you can start either tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Really, you do you, boo. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly on the day. You can start your journey into abundance at any time, but using the new moon as a jump off is a beautiful place to do it. All right, so that is it for now. It is Wig Wednesday. I'm keeping this theme. I love this theme so much. So that's it for now. I hope you guys have an amazing day.